Hello! Hope you're doing well. You know me already. You know who I am. I have a bunch of friends that ask me, how do I buy Bitcoin? Well, I'm not going to be covering how to buy Bitcoin today. Also, I'm making some macaroni, so I'm going to have to run to tend to that as soon as the water starts boiling. But what I will be covering is how to store your Bitcoin. I'll make a video about how to buy Bitcoin after this. Um, so there are three ways to store Bitcoin. There's the first, which is a cold wallet, which is one of these things. It's cold wallet. So your private keys, which I'll get to in a moment, are stored in one of these devices, and some of your custody is off your hands. So if you ever lose this, all you need to do is use your seed word phrase thing. It's 24 words, and you can use that to recover your coins. In the event that this gets tossed out the window, let's say, or water damaged, or there's some calamity. And these things range from about $100 to $200. I have both of these, and I enjoy them because I use one as a backup. I would recommend this because the likelihood, and it kind of feels like an iPhone, where like if I was to lose my iPhone today, it's no big deal, right? All I need to do is go to the Apple Store, buy another iPhone, put in my Apple ID and password, and all the stuff that I had before streams back in. It's really beautiful. It's like stored in the cloud. This is a similar concept, though it's not stored in the cloud. But it's a very similar, and that's all you really need to know. That the hardware here essentially keeps your private keys, and your private keys are what you really want to keep hidden. I have a great example of what that is in a few seconds. Sorry, I've been talking all day, and I need to drink a little bit of water just to keep myself hydrated, or my throat hydrated. The next thing that a lot of people have, and I have one of these, is a hot wallet. And a hot wallet is anything off of something like a Coinbase, like you're probably familiar with Coinbase, or a Binance, which is oh, this is a great article. Coinbase is like what most North Americans use, and I would recommend that you use Coinbase. It's really easy. The UI is beautiful. Like anyone can use it. And ideally, you're buying some amount of Bitcoin every single day, or every single week, or every single month. Of course, this is financial entertainment, not advice. But this is a great option if you want to get into crypto and you've never gotten to crypto. I personally use Binance, but the fees are lower. It's a little bit more technical, so I don't know which one you want to lean to. It depends on your technical levels. But if you're just getting into this, I definitely recommend Coinbase. Now, something interesting about these hot wallets is Binance right now has $1 billion. Oh boy, it has $1 billion of insurance. So let's say, is my timer going off? I think it is. Oh, it is. I see. Whoops, sorry. So if something happens and your wallet gets, or your hot wallet, which is on your phone, and what the situation here is, your private key is stored with the exchange provider. Give me one sec. Your private key is held with Binance or Coinbase, and there's a saying that goes in the community where if it's not your keys, it's not your coins. And the idea behind that is that if your private key is with someone aside from you, it's basically gone. And the analogy I like to use personally, sometimes when I'm explaining this to like my family or some friends, is your private key is your house door key. It's just you and a trusted few other people have the literal key to your door, right? But your address, you give that to so many people, right? Your bank, your friends, whomever, but they don't all have a key to the water delivery guy, the Shaw dude, all these kind of things. So that's the internet provider, T-Mobile, whomever it might be, Comcast. And that's the idea. Your public key is your home address. Your private key is the literal key that enters your house, and you can do anything you want within in your house. If you have that key, if someone that you wouldn't want to have that key ends up with that key, they could get in there and steal a bunch of things, and you would have no power. I mean, even the neighbors would think, yeah, that looks like his keys if they didn't know you, right? They would, yeah, totally. Like, you just open the door, go in casually, move everything out. It's not a big deal. So you got to be careful about these private keys. But with something like this, and this is a very recent development, it makes me feel secure because I have cash up in the hot wallet, and I have it up there because the markets look wild, right? The markets look wild enough that, you know, I want to keep, and we're heading in a downtrend, it seems like, and you know, I want to be ready to take action if I need to at some point. So that's a hot wallet. Cold wallets are expensive, about $100, $200. And if you're only investing $100, you may not want to do this, right? It depends on what your horizon is as well. Hot wallet is fine. I wouldn't be too nervous about it with these insurance things, but still, you know, the insurance might not cover you for some reason. There's a lot of loopholes there. The last option, and the thing that we're going to cover today, is a paper wallet. And a paper wallet is literally what it looks like. That's it. It's on paper. The entire thing is on paper. And I have one right here. This is a paper wallet. And if I had Bitcoin on this, you could literally you could scan this with your phone, or you could input this into a place, and you would have access and custody over the coins. Now, there are no coins on this piece of paper here, which is actually a wallet, but I'm going to show you how to make one. So the place I like to go to make one is bitcoinpaperwallet.com. And I'm sure you have questions as I'm saying all this, but you know, please message me in the comments below, or somewhere, or message me if you have my phone number, or you know, some platform to reach out. Now, all you do is you click generate key and print paper wallets. That's going to take a second. And this is very interesting. So secure random number generation requires that you provide some unpredictable data, also called entropy. So all you do is move your cursor around, and it's generating some numbers. You can see right here. It stops when I stop it. It's changing these numbers, and this is SHA-256. This is the most mind-blowing. Yeah, it's not the most blind, but the technicals behind it is very interesting. So here you go. This is your wallet. Right, now you have your wallet. You have your public key right here, and this is the QR code associated with your public key right here. And this is your private key, and this is the QR code associated. So you're going to click print and make sure it's in landscape mode. It's default by portrait normally on laptops, so we keep it on landscape, and you can click print. And once it comes out, we'll wait for that to come out. But you might wonder, and so this private key here, right? Here it is, and it's identical to what I just showed you, right? This is it right here. This is the one that we have right there. And so this is your public key, and this is what you give out to everybody. It's your address. You give it out to whomever you want, and they know they can send you money from wherever it might be. So if your friend is in Montreal and you're in Seattle and you want to send money to him, your friend in Montreal would give you their public key. They would not give you the private key, because that would take away your security would be gone. And what you do with this is you actually cut it out, right? You cut it out like this, and it's a design choice designed this way. And what you do is you fold this over, and you'll notice that this is just gibberish. This is not a QR code that's scannable. Only this is. So what you do is you flip it like this, and then you flip it one more time, and there you go. And now the gibberish side is on the outside, right? The middle pane is on the outside, so it cannot be read. And here you go. You have your wallet, right? It's that great. And the instructions to do so are right here. And there's a backside you can print as well if you want it. And the instructions, and you put this in some kind of waterproof or fireproof place. Now, this is the downside with this sort of system versus this system, or the system that you have on your phone with Coinbase, where somebody else has custody. Somebody else has custody, and they offer insurance. That's a pretty good deal, though. If you have hundreds of thousands, I'd be a little nervous. With something like this, your hundreds of thousands, millions, whatever the hundreds are on this hardware wallet. So you have all the custody. If this goes away, you just memorize your 24 word seed key, and you're able to get all your stuff back. Now with this, and if there's a fire, it's no big deal, because you just buy a new one and do that password thing, and everything comes back. Now the problem with this, of course, is that if there's a fire, if this ends up into water, this gets thrown out the window, your Bitcoin goes along with it. And it's gone. It's forever gone. You have no access to it. You need the private key to access it. So this is the downside. So you really need to be able to secure this. And let's just talk briefly about what the private key is. The private key is this. This is the private key here. I'm trying to do this backwards, of course. But the private key is the public key is generated from the private key. And this video by 3 Blue 1 Brown is going to explain it beautifully. Just listen. I hope you can hear this.
Message is SHA-256 hash is some specific string of 256 bits, you have no better method than to just guess and check random messages.
So guess and check random messages. So who can guess and check random messages really well? The NSA. Now I'm really excited to actually read into this right after this video to see if the NSA has cracked it. I bet they have, because they also developed this. But you would need a lot of horsepower, and the NSA does have a lot of horsepower. So I would think on a government level you might be able to crack this. But this is a big point of contention for crypto, because it's all based off SHA-256. If this is broken, you're going to see some problems. The other thing that could crack this quite easily is a quantum computer, and we are developing this. This is being developed, so we have some issues coming in the future.
And this would require, on average, 2 to the 256 guesses.
2 to the 256 guesses is the number it would require to guess the correct password. So this is the private key. The private key generates the desired output, which is this, and this is the desired output, right? So to guess this from this, it would take 2 to the 256 guesses.
Guesses. Now, this is a number so far removed from anything that we ever deal with that it can be hard to appreciate its size. But let's give it a try. 2 to the 256 is the same as 2 to the 32 multiplied by itself 8 times. Now, what's nice about that split is that 2 to the 32 is 4 billion, which is at least a number we can think about, right? It's the kind of thing you might see in a headline. So all we need to do is appreciate what multiplying 4 billion times itself 8 successive times really feels like. As many of you know, the GPU on your computer can let you run a whole bunch of computations in parallel.
GPUs are what's used to mine Bitcoin and Ethereum and many other cryptos. GPUs not so much. Now they have dedicated things for Bitcoin, but Ethereum still uses GPUs.
Incredibly quickly. So if you were to specially program a GPU to run a cryptographic hash function over and over, a really good one might be able to do a little less than 1 billion hashes per second. And let's say that you just take a bunch of those and cram your computer full of extra GPUs so that your computer can run 4 billion hashes per second. So the first 4 billion here is going to represent the number of hashes per second per computer. Now, picture 4 billion of these GPU-packed computers. For comparison, even though Google does not at all make their number of servers public, estimates have it somewhere in the single-digit millions. In reality, most of those servers are going to be much less powerful than our imagined GPU-packed machine. But let's say that Google replaced all of its millions of servers with a machine like this, then 4 billion machines would mean about 1,000 copies of this souped-up Google. Let's call that 1 kilogoogle worth of computing power. There's about 7.3 billion people on Earth.
You can see how this is kind of getting out of hand, right? Like the number of calculations. We'll just keep going with this.
So next, imagine giving a little over half of every individual on Earth their own personal kilogoogle. Now, imagine 4 billion copies of this Earth.
Right.
For comparison, the Milky Way has somewhere between 100 and 400 billion stars. We don't really know, but the estimates tend to be in that range. So this would be akin to a full 1% of every star in the galaxy having a copy of Earth, where half the people on that Earth have their own personal kilogoogle. Next, try to imagine 4 billion copies of the Milky Way. And we're going to call this your gigagalactic supercomputer.
Okay, so you get that he's going to a very large number. Now, I'm not going to put you through the rest of this video. You know where to go, how secure is 256-bit security. So go watch it and like his stuff. This man is amazing. He's a public service. So the question I want to answer for you is, if you want to buy Bitcoin and you don't know where to store it, let's say your friend's going to send you Bitcoin, don't know where to store it, you go to bitcoinpaperwallet.com, right? And you're going to hit the generate keys and print wallet button, right? And you're going to click print. Oh, you're going to do this mouse cursor thing as soon as it loads. Or is it? It's not. It's loading yet. You're going to do this mouse cursor thing, and it's going to do this thing that you needed to, the randomization of these things. And then you're going to print the wallet, and you're going to get something like this. You're going to cut it out, and then you're going to fold it, and never ever share this private key with anybody. You're going to fold it, and there you go. And then this public key is what you're going to give to your friend that's going to send you the Bitcoin. And once it's sent, you can check, and we should probably go do this. So we're gonna copy this public key right here. Copy. It's an image. Okay, we'll copy this. This is the public key, and so you can see it's boldened. There we go. And then we can check the Bitcoin public. Hold on, public ledger. Let's blockchain. Sorry, it's the Block Explorer. Wow, I'm not fully here today. So so right here you're gonna copy and paste that address, and there you go. This is it. There are two blockchains with the result to search, right? And so this is it. There's a Bitcoin and there's a Bitcoin Cash. You can ignore the Bitcoin Cash; it's irrelevant. There was a hard fork some years ago in 2018, I believe. But that is it. And now you can see how much Bitcoin you have on your wallet, and that is the entire process. I kid you not. So basically you go Block Explorer, Bitcoin Block Explorer, right? There you go. Click search, and then you paste the address, and the address is the public key, and bada bing, you got it, right? So most of the things you do will be with the public key, not the private key. Now, if you were going to send Bitcoin, that's when the private key gets involved, and we can talk about that in a separate video. But that's it. This is the entire idea of this, and a little bit about SHA-256 and 3 different kinds of wallets for Bitcoin. If you have any questions, reach out. Here to help. See you soon.